One ancestor story at a time. In fact, I'm working on one with something that proves that I did participate as a crew leader and numerator and field operations supervisor in the 1990 census. We're all talking about census records of late in the world of genealogy. So big shout out to Shabby Dabby Doodah Tina for showing me how to fold paper. This is cardstock paper, double-sided, into these cute little mini journals. So the first one I did, and I did these during Craft Shack, Heather Crafter's Craft Shack. You'll find it KRAAFTSHAAK. Yeah, I did this while she was painting today. She was painting pansies, just gorgeous work. This is what is called her fold up, fold out little journal. This one would definitely be for a wedding with all these pearls and things. And yes, I would not hesitate to write with a black or dark brown pen on this muted side. And kind of cute how it turned out. I did elect to ink the edges. All right. And I used one of Tracy Fox's Love Junk Journal little embellishments here. I had to thicken it up because I'd printed it on regular printer paper and I mounted it on cardstock so to be strong enough to hold the flap down. The second one I did while Heather was busy painting was this little oriental theme. Let me move it closer so you can see it. It also has a flap, and I used one of the mini tags that came in this 8x8 Stamperia set because I like the contrast. And this one folds out slightly differently. So because this background is darker, I did include paper. This happens to be bullet journal paper, unadorned. And I may put some more ephemera to the side. I don't know. But I just think these are the cutest little easy to make things. So let's do it. So you start with a 12 by 12 or an 8 by 8. This is what the 8-inch size looks like. And that's the 12-inch. And we will, let's look and see what I could choose from this Stamperia set. It's from Stamperia.com, but I ordered it through Amazon, my favorite delivery service. Okay, love this. And this. Let's see what the background is. Ooh. Every one of these I'm thinking I could use. Okay, here's some journaling cards. Clearly journaling cards. Wow. Pretty stuff. It's kind of fun to flip through and see what things other people find. I enjoy that, so I'm hoping you will as well. These would be interesting, cute journaling cards to put to tuck in a pocket somewhere, but that's not our job today. Kind of pinky. I like that. This would be good. Oh my gosh. I already cut some out of this because I like this old barnwood with the turquoise accent. Okay. I think I'm going to do this one. We'll see what happens. Geez, that's really good glue, guys, at Stamperia. I like that they include color as opposed to just white text or white paper on the backside. Boy, I am having a washi tape meltdown here today. All right, so this is Stamperia. So apparently the washi tape wants to be part of the mix. I don't know. All right, so it's very quick and easy to make. Basically, we need to fold this in force, but oh dear. This one has directional lettering and it doesn't flip flop this way or that. So I don't want to use that one. I love it, but oh my gosh. In fact, this aqua is my favorite color. All right, you can tell that hard to decide. Okay, what if we did this one? Would it come down okay? Still upside down text. Whoa. Let's see what this one does. Okay, this doesn't really have text. Oops, that has the journaling pages. Well, darn it. When I looked at these, I didn't consider how that would go. Let's see if this one will work. Let's see if we bring it this way. The music is upside down. So let's do it this way. Okay, got it. Sorry, guys. Spent a whole 2 minutes trying to figure that part out. Okay. So the first thing you do is fold your paper in half. And be sure to use cardstock, or if you're using printer paper, you're going to want to make it thicker, maybe putting some tea-dyed paper on the back. Okay, so I'm using my bone folder there. Okay, now what we do is we take and fold this back on itself as straight as possible. Okay, doesn't take much. Okay. All right. And the same thing this on this side. If it's off slightly, we can trim it. But I really want this outside edge to match. Okay. Now, I hadn't thought about Stamperia. I do have several sets of their things in my stash, but I hadn't thought about it for a while until Gail Augustinelli was preparing to go on her retreat, and she took all Stamperia papers plus a bunch of coffee dyed. All right, so we've got our 4 folds. Okay, so we see that much of it is happening. All right, now let's see what happens if we bring this side down. And you can decide how tall or short you'd like this to be. All right, so we're going to fold this so everything matches. Perfect. Now what we need to do then is cut away 2/3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3/4. How's that? Okay, it might be easier for me to see it here. Okay, and I like to use the Tim Holtz scissors because they are the straightest cutting scissors I know of. I did mention that I'm trying to use more of these that are a little more ergonomically spring-loaded type things that help old ladies like me that have arthritis in their hands. But I digress. So rather than cutting this straight, we have to make it at a slight angle so that it, and this definitely shows you that it needs to be at a slight angle. And so we shall do that. Okay. And I'm to the point where I just eyeball it. But you could do our usual trick of matching up from the previous cut. Okay. All right, now that's one way to do it, but normally you just fold it in, back in like this. All right, so what we end up with is our mini journal, but I'm going to tell you, because I want more definition, I'm going to ink the edges of this baby. And we'll save this. These are perfectly good little squares that I'll be able to use in the future. Okay, where's my ink? Okay, we'll do this kind of quickly because you get the concept. And I would rather do another one so you can see again how to do it. Of course, you can rewind, go from there. I'm planning to ink that quite a bit. All right, now we have definition. All right, so Yes, I'd ink down all the sides and all the corners, any fold, any edge. A couple of times, in order for the flap to go down more, Tina had to cut this again. And I think I shall do that because it kind of goes up a little in the middle, and we want to encourage this to fold as flat as possible, especially considering that it is cardstock. Okay, now we need to have something to hold it. So let's see what we've got. Thinking I like that color as opposed to the other side. So this is going to be a handmade closure. And I better put my lid on there. Okay. This is the glue lid. I found it, of course. Okay, there we go. Now, Tina frequently uses a hot glue gun, and I'm just too messy on my desk to do that, if you ask me. Okay, so first of all, I'm making a double-sided, whoa, a lot of glue, double-sided cardstock rectangle so that wow, do you ever have days like that where the glue just goes everywhere? Okay. I'm going to put the folded side up in position. And there we go. That's about where we want it to go. So let me put a little glue down. And then I would press the whole thing underneath the encyclopedia or dictionary, whatever it is you have close by. Oh dear, we got a little glue on the upper part. All right. That's how easy it is to make this. All right, let's do a quick 8x8 and then we're out of here. Okay. So I'm liking this by Stamperia. These are part of the Asian kit in 8x8. That's gorgeous. There's no problem with that. Let's use this. But I mean, look at all this gorgeous paper. How would that look? Ooh, I kind of like that. How can you decide this stuff? Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see which one we shall use. I can't tell which way the writing goes. Okay, I think we've decided. All right, I'm going to use this one. So fold it in half, then fold those wings back on themselves. So that's what we shall do. Use the bone folder to help flatten that fold. Here we go. Since I'm not standing up, I tend to turn this sideways so I can see. There's a little bit of the glue from the Stamperia pad. There, we got it off. Okay. Okay, so now we've got our folds as we need them. So now we need to figure out what we're doing next. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now Tina likes to do this. She likes to just sew very thinly along the edge rather than on the line because she says she does a straighter job of it. I don't know about that. She's pretty darn gifted when it comes to paper crafting and journal making. Okay, now there's the part that we need to cut at an angle. So let's do it. Okay, so this is a more extreme angle, so I need to adjust this one. It's doable. I can see adjusting it back and forth 1,000 times and then ending up with a narrow little flap. There we go. All right, let me move that and use my bone folder. Some of these folds have gone the opposite way so that I can get the red to show up here. Now, what shall we do? Should we do the black? This is just what I have. Here we wouldn't want to use the red because it would look redundant. Do I want this red? It's really just a matter of personal preference. I kind of like that. So that's what we shall do. There we go. We'll cut this. I guess I could cut on camera. Wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings. Is that too big? I think it's about right, but I'm going to shorten it slightly. All right, we'll put the glue on it again. All right. The other thing that Tina does is she has a dry baby wipe to help sop up the excess glue, which that had not occurred to me. I was just using wet baby wipes. So I'm trying to follow along with that idea. Let's ink this a little bit. And I'm going to put the strongest part, the fold, at the top. Okay. All right, so we will put the glue on again in this portion. And this is the part where I've seen her use that hot glue gun. And I'm just afraid I'd burn up the place. All right, now while I'm looking at this, I can see down below just how far to place this. Okay, and while I'm holding that till it dries, I'm going to ink up the edges because I think that will add some depth. I don't know. What do you think? Depends, doesn't it? All right, oh, that's going to be a good closure. Okay. And, ooh, look at the difference between inking the edges of this panel and not inking. I think we want to ink. Now, this is one of those where there's a lot going on in the background, so I'm probably going to have to put panels of plain coffee dyed or tea dyed paper to write on because it would just get lost. All right, let's turn this way and a little bit on the edge here more. Maybe I just forgot. I don't know. Anyway, that's how you do it. And I have to tell you that I wouldn't have thought of doing this if it weren't for Shabby Dabby Doodah. Thank you so much, Tina, for the inspiration. I have linked her how-to video where she does some really pretty embellishments on top. Right there in the description of this video so that you'll be able to start following her. She's one of my favorite people in the world of paper crafting. She's very, very good. So there's nothing left to say but happy family tree climbing and journal making, everyone. That's a wrap.